so I'm just going to put my hair back and we'll get crack-a-lacking on the base. I'm really excited actually because I've got a new Benefit product that I've not used yet, and yeah, I'm going to try it out for the first time in this video, so I'm like super excited to try that. So basically the first thing I'm going to put on my face is the Benefit Porefessional Pore Minimizing Makeup. This is actually one of their new releases and they kindly sent it over. I've actually seen a few videos about this and people don't really like rave about it, considering how much hype Benefit products can get, and especially like their Porefessional, things like that. I'm really curious to try it because I just feel like I've seen so many mixed reviews that I actually want to try it out for myself. So this is in the shade 1, which is obviously their lightest shade. And yeah, I thought I'd just give it a go because I love anything that promises to minimise pores, but I feel like not a lot actually works. So fingers crossed this is actually a winner. I expect it's just going to be... Let's start with that, I suppose. Yeah, I thought I won't do a primer today, I'll actually do this. Because especially if you're like going out on a date, you want your skin to look as good as it possibly can. So yeah, I'm curious to see if this actually works. So I've also got like a bit of a new lighting setup, which I'm hoping that you can tell that the quality of this video is so much better. I feel like for the whole last year that I've been doing YouTube, I've just not managed to get it as I want it. So I'm hoping that this is like at least a step in the right direction. So this product is really light actually, and that's surprising even on me. I'm also not sure how sanitary this like way of applying is, but again, if I'm only going to use it on myself, it should be okay. I also feel like this product will be one of those ones you'll see on Instagram all the time because people are like, like dripping all over their face. I'm not all about that life. Because I feel like everyone just looks so silly when they do that. I don't understand how it can actually work. No, I'm not convinced at present. My first impressions aren't the greatest, but we'll see how other makeup works on top of it. Today I'm going to go for quite a full coverage look because obviously this is for a date night. If you're anything like me, like I want my skin to look as good as it possibly can when I'm on a date, because obviously I want it to look like really nice. Right, that's the last of that product. Yeah, it's not done a lot, nor has it really done a lot for like my skin's texture or even tone. I feel like I'm still a little bit like red in areas, but that doesn't matter. I'm gonna go straight on in with foundation, because that's kind of where the base goes from like 0 to 10, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm all about that full coverage foundation. So I'm taking my Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is a foundation that I hadn't tried in so long. Literally, I only picked this up a few months ago. I did a whole video about that above, so I'll like leave that linked and down below as well. I basically got this quite recently and I've fallen in love with it. So putting a bit on my hand there. This, by the way, I'm in the shade 1W2 Sand. That's part of their like warm colours. I think it's one of the lightest ones. I am also going to put in a little bit of my L'Oreal True Match. This is just, obviously it's quite a dark foundation, but I'm putting like a tiny amount in because I have fake tanned. My neck is like a little bit dark. I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell like with my lighting stuff, but yeah, the tan, it's a really good tan actually. I've been using Bondi Sands one and it's really easy to use. So anyway, I'm going to take a brush. Now the reason that I do use a brush when I'm going for a full coverage look is that I feel like it does give me more coverage. Although I probably prefer using a beauty blender for like every day and stuff, a brush just honestly, it just gives me so much more coverage because it doesn't soak up as much as the product. Kind of happy-ish with that. I mean, I'll keep blending out while now I'm going to put concealer on. Again, recent discovery, but a product that I love and I can't believe I've not tried before. It's the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I'm sure that you've watched other YouTubers that rave so much about this and you've probably tried it yourself and love it, so I'm not going to bore you with the details other than the fact that I love this for a full coverage concealer. I was going to say conceal them, but that doesn't make sense. For like full coverage to hide the bags under your eyes, this is perfect. I'm just taking that underneath the eyes and along the bridge of my nose and on my forehead and my chin, not only to conceal but also to highlight, because they're the areas of your face that you want to add dimension to, because we're going to go in with contouring later, but add in this little bit lighter coverage just means it's going to give that illusion of depth, which is really nice. So again, I'm just going to take the same Sigma brush, this is a flat kabuki brush, the F80, and I'm just going to blend that all in. To just blend the foundation and concealer together, I've just dampened my beauty blender, and I really like this once you finish your base, just to like make sure it all melts into the skin. So I'd always go in with a flat kabuki brush first, but this is really good as like a final step before you bake. So that's what I'm going to do now. Another step as well is that if you really want your makeup to last all night long, spray your beauty blender with a bit of setting spray, and then that's really going to help it lock in place. Now I'm going to take my trusted RCMA No Colour Powder. Can you see how much of that I've now used? I'm honestly obsessed with this. Like, I use this on a daily basis, even when I'm doing like a really natural face of makeup, because I just love the way that it really does help to lock in my base in place all day. So I'm literally taking the smallest amount. Packaging sucks, but you can control it like that. So I've just put a little bit on the base of my hand, put my damp beauty blender in, and I'm just going to set that in place. Now the only problem with this powder is that when you're doing it and you're wearing black, it goes all over the place. But I'm going to let that bake and do its job, and I'm going to do my brows. I honestly hate doing these on camera because I just feel like I'm going to just mess them up. That's brows pretty much done. I don't want to go too bold with them because I'm going to do quite a bold lip, so I normally try and keep my eyes as minimal as I can. So they're pretty much done. I am going to add some highlighter on the brow bone when I get to that step, so that's going to help to like really carve them out. I used to really like carve them out with concealer as well, but I feel like they look a little bit better when they're a little bit messier, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to keep them like that. So now, whilst again we're still baking and I've done my brows, I'm going to move on to my eyes. As you can tell, I've got eyelash extensions on, so I'm not going to go too heavy on the eye because A, I'm going to do a bold lip, and 2, it just doesn't work very well when I have eyelash extensions on. I've really like stepped down my eyeshadow experimentation, stuff like that, because there's just no need when your eyes look so open all the time. So I am, however, going to just go in with like a really nude colour. I'm taking the Makeup Revolution Salvation palette. It's called Run Boy Run, and I'm taking the shade Follow Me, and it's this one here. I've still got the thingy for it, but does anyone actually use these? I never know. But I am going to take this like very light nudie shade and put that basically all over the lid. I am just going to use my finger for it because it's just a lot easier, I feel like, that way. But this not only helps to like hide veins and stuff like that on your eyelid, it also helps your eyes not get very oily. And that's actually quite good when you have eyelash extensions on, because if your eyelids are getting oily and it's getting on the eyelash extensions, you're going to have more fallout. So just going in with a very light shade that's kind of like nudie to skin colour just works really well. I'm literally keeping it like that, like super au naturel. Obviously with eyelash extensions it helps to make it a little bit more full, and if I wasn't wearing eyelash extensions I'd do the same, but I would add a full set of lashes on. And the ones that are very similar to how my eyelash extensions look now are the Ardell Demi Wispies. Again, you've heard about them, you know what they're like, but they're honestly so good. So if you want ones that look very similar to the style that I have now, grab some of them and they will do you proper good. And the good thing with the Ardell ones is that I always find that I could get about 5 wears out of them, so that's actually quite good for it's quite good value for money considering how many uses you get out of them, and they are so natural looking. So yeah, they're the ones that I would recommend if you're going to go in with falsies. I'm ready to take away the bake. I'm just going to like dust it away, but as I'm doing it I am just going to push excess in. In terms of a base product, this is pretty foolproof. Like if I am going to an event or have a date or something that like requires like the best products, that this is normally what I go for. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Now I'm going to do basically like contouring and stuff. So I'm going to take my trusty Cocoa contour palette. Now this is probably one of my favourite contour kits ever. Like, I am just going to put that out there. I got this for Christmas this year and I've honestly feel like I've used it every single day. It's so good, and it's so versatile because you get 2 contour shades, so it's perfect for light to medium skin, medium to deep skin, and it just covers everything. So I'm going to take the medium one and I'm going to just carve out my cheekbones as you'd expect, and then if I need to like blend it out I'll do so with a brush. But this is quite good, even with the brush that it comes with, just getting into the chisels of the cheeks to really help carve it out. To blend that all out, I'm going to take the Real Techniques sculpting brush. It's a little bit less dense, so I can just circle that in. Blush of choice is a throwback. I'm putting it out there. I'm still using this. This is a NARS Orgasm blush. Again, I feel like I'm talking about a lot of hyped products, but I feel like they are honestly the best. That's why they've made it into like my date night routine, because they do amazing things. So I'm just going to take this very lightly on a big fluffy brush. This is actually the Makeup Revolution. I think this is their powder brush from the Rose Gold collection. I'm just taking a little bit of that. As you can tell there's a bit of pigment on it, but it's not too overpowering. And then I'm just going to bring that along my cheekbones. I really don't like too much blush. I'm very particular when it comes to blush. So I feel like this one just works so well because you can really blend it out, but it just adds that like very natural colour to your cheeks without looking too much really. This is my favourite part. Highlighting. Now, I'm actually going to use a product that I have actually loved for so long. I've hit pan on it as well because it's just so loved. This is the Makeup Revolution Peach Lights Vivid Baked Highlighter. I've had this for probably, I want to say, probably just over a year, and I've used it to death. The fact that I've actually hit pan is depressing, but it shows how well loved it is. So I'm going to take a little bit of this, a lot of this, and put it all over my face where I want like a really nice glow. I love how like the pink undertones in this, especially for the lip that I'm going to go for with this look. I feel like a lot of people are quite scared of pink highlights because they think they're better suited on darker skin tones, but honestly, rock it. Take that along my nose, in the cupid's bow, and on the chin. All that's pretty much left is lips, And I'm going in with MAC Studded Kiss. I love this. This is such like a deep red lipstick. I love things like that. It's so much nicer than like a blue toned lipstick. I much prefer something that's got a bit of a like berry undertone, and I just feel like it just helps to just complete the look really. So I'm gonna go in with this. That's pretty much it. I am just gonna add a bit of highlighter to under my brow bone. I just feel like this highlighter, honestly, it's just so pigmented. It's one of my faves, it's one of my faves for sure. This is pretty much the finished look, and you can obviously go in with like setting spray, finishing spray, things like that to really help it like seal in place. But for me, it's all about having like a blinding highlight and a statement lip. That's like my go-to when I'm going on a date night. You know, you just need to feel really good when you're going on a date. And this is just like my go-to. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. What products do you use when you're going out on a date? Like, do you have like a particular product that you like save for those kind of special occasions? Because I'd love to know what they are. Do let me know in the comments, because I just love like knowing about like special pieces of makeup that everyone has. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate the fact that you guys have watched this video, and I'm hoping now I've kind of sorted out my set out a bit. I'm going to be like able to film a lot more videos, and there should be a lot more things coming your way, so that's exciting. So basically subscribe if you want to see pretty cool stuff, because that's what I'm planning. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and give it a thumbs up if you have, and I'll see you guys next week for another video. Bye guys!